I was like, good for you. Good for you. You did it. Like, you didn't give up. That's the important thing.
Right?
Like, it always ends well. I'm not gonna,
Exactly.
I'm not an idiot. I'm not
You're
an
not
idiot.
completely self-sabotaging.
I'm not an idiot that just walks around with negative thoughts all the time.
Damn it, am
Oh
I?
god. Yeah, yeah. And the rest of the world? Did you just call me an idiot? I
I
mean, I may
mean,
have.
it's not thinking that it is. Okay, here we are. It says live stream, so I'm going to take it for what it is.
Cool. Live streaming where?
That's a great question.
That's
I'm going to
that's the unknown.
assume in our studio, Riverside studio. Yeah, I really have no idea. I truly do not. But at the very least, it's recording.
Sure. And we're gonna find out later what live stream actually means.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Can you hear my air conditioner?
No, I'm
Great.
busy listening to like the lapping water on the shore. Yeah.
The lapping water.
The gentle lap of the water across the sandy shore.
I feel like
It's so
that's a
poetic.
beginning to a book.
Yeah.
This is where
Yeah.
this is where you need to be writing.
Yeah. A murder mystery.
Because I just finished one and it was about influencers, which was really even more funny. I
Oh,
was like,
really? Oh my God.
yeah.
Influencers. That's fucking funny.
Yeah, one of them killed the other. It was actually quite the mystery of the
Oh,
murder.
yeah. Yeah. I do want to write here. I do want to write here. I'm not alone. I'm a guest in this place, but she's going back to Roslyn for a night, and I am going to have some just like alone time space. So I am looking forward to, yeah, hopefully that. I mean, I have work to do too.
Sure.
Always. Isn't that always the excuse?
Or you could consider this part of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I need to remind myself, like, once I start writing, I get into the flow quite quickly. There's always that initial, like, push for, I don't want to say for everyone, because I'm not going to speak for anyone but myself, but for myself, there often needs to be like a, okay, just fucking do it. But that's also with everything in my life. Like, here, this is a perfect segue. I can circle back to my experience this morning. So I'm here visiting with my dear, dear friends, and we were having
Very
dinner and
fair.
some wine last night. Say again?
Where
Where am I?
yes.
Yeah, I'm in Christina Lake right now. So it's like this. Now there's a people are out water skiing already because it's very early in the morning, so the water is still calm. But I'm in the mountains at a lake, and it's just really serene and beautiful. My children are with their father in Nova Scotia, having the time of their lives.
Took
By
me a
the
minute to
way,
remember that. I was like, "Oh, you're gonna have alone time. Where are the kids?" And I was like, "Oh,
yeah. What do you mean?
actually gone." So this is real space for you.
This is legitimate alone time if you don't count the dogs, but they've been amazing. And yeah, I am definitely going to write. Anyhow, my point is, I had some last night. We had some wine because we were having great conversations. I was talking about the podcast. I shared the podcast with them, and they're like, "Oh," so that was fun. But anyhow, I had 3 glasses of wine over the course of the evening. Like, it was probably over 4 or 5 hours. And I'm very good at managing and controlling how much alcohol I consume for reasons that don't need to be discussed.
That's for another one.
And
That's
also, just use your imagination. Yeah,
for way
I
later.
I do not need to fall into any addictions. Let's just say that. So I'm very, very controlling of, well, let's just be honest, I'm a complete control freak in everything that I do, but for good reason. Like, if I don't, then shit goes off the rails. Anyway, long story short, I woke up this morning for my 1 hour morning meditation that I have very successfully. Yeah, I've done an hour of meditation every morning since the course, and I feel like it's just that's now part of my routine. It's part of my life. It's not going to be the end of the world if I don't do the hour. And also, I'm very committed to it. And when I put my mind to something, I do it. And so this morning, because I had the wine last night, I just, for the first time, was like, ugh, I don't want to do it. And then I felt like, you fucker, because it wasn't me saying that. That was the wine saying that. That was the leftover shitty poison in my body. That was like, you don't need to meditate. Everything's fine. And it's like, ooh, that's how it gets you. That's how it gets you. And I meditated, and it was challenging, and I forced myself to do it. That's my point of the force. And then once I forced myself to do it, I kind of got into it. The whole hour was a struggle, and this is the first time I've struggled. So it's just a fun little connection.
It's so interesting that the body, and it's funny you said it's the alcohol like screaming at you, but it's really your body telling you, we need help. Stop what you're doing. We need to
Help.
just, right.
Yeah, it's my body, but it's also my brain because
Oh,
it's so
yes,
quickly
absolutely.
wants to
Because,
fall back into old habit patterns.
yeah, your body's being controlled by your brain, and vice versa. Your brain is
And
being
vice versa.
controlled by your body. So it's just feeding you what it thinks it needs, but you still get to
Yeah, I mean,
override
it's feeding me what I fed it. Poison.
that. Ooh, the karma circle.
Yeah, you know? And it's like, I'm not trying to condemn the activity because I had a wonderful evening. It was fun and the wine was wonderful,
Yeah.
but
I've
the
noticed
company was great.
it's almost like that over explanation where now it's trying to make sure it's like this, it's not an offense to the people that do. It's not. It's
No.
just it has a side effect, right? And also this other side to the consumption of it. That is just the reality.
I mean, yeah, there's side effects and they're all different for every person. It doesn't matter. I'll always feel it. My body is so hypersensitive to it at this point. Doesn't matter. I could have one or not that I would ever have 10. I could have, I actually, okay, I'm gonna get real honest here. There was a point in time in my family where we had young, like, I mean, I still have young kids, but they were younger. And we were all out at a camping trip. Like, there was about 8 of us or so. And everybody was intoxicated in some form. I had had a gummy. So, like, and no one, let's just put it this way, nobody was driving anywhere, right? And not that we had to, because we were out camping. This is the point. But I just looked around at everybody, and everybody was unable to drive. And I thought, what if something happened to one of the kids? Like they were sleeping, they were in the trailer, like they were young. But even so, I was like, what if something happened? And like just the fact alone that I thought about something happening brought me so much shame. Like I've never done it again. I've not been intoxicated in front of my children, nor will I be. I mean, I say that with conviction today. I mean, who knows? Who knows? Like we're all human.
Totally.
And they're going to grow up and they're going to want to probably party, like who knows. And so maybe at that point we will be together, but the point is like I felt so much shame and regret in that moment that I was just like, I'm never doing this again. And I can very easily, and so they've been just like a really strong motivation for me to control that aspect of my life. Yeah, because I don't want to feel that type of shame. No thanks. Not if I can make the choice, you
For
know?
sure. Absolutely. It's funny that you noticed it too. I feel like I have always had this occur, especially with a gummy, where you have this also hyper awareness and things that you didn't notice before, now you're noticing now, even though they've always been there. And this is now one of those things that you have allowed to become part of you, whether it's you later or not, that's okay. You get to choose that for yourself at any
Yeah,
point. Like neither one is right or wrong. You just have an awareness of something that really matters to you.
right,
And it's
right.
being functional in a time of need.
It's being available to my children.
Yeah.
is what it is, both emotionally, mentally, physically. Yeah, at all times. Well, no, not at all times, because when they're not present, I'm gonna have a gummy. Like
Sure.
when you and I were in Toronto, we went to that Indian food restaurant
Yes. Well, this is
and
where we
had
come up with the great name and the
this is where the podcast was born.
snowball into, yeah, us.
Or rather, this is where the, well, yeah, born, I guess. This is where the podcast really took life and form.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Born, right? It had been
yeah.
gestating for so
It was
long.
gestating.
It got a name, it had a
Yeah.
birthday.
It got
We
a human
celebrated
design
before
chart.
we got here.
It got it got a human design chart. Do you remember? And it's a our podcast is a manifester. I thought that
Ooh,
was so perfect.
which is
Yeah.
not either one of us, so that's super cool.
Oh,
Now
I
we have
know.
everything.
Right. And the manifestors, well, the manifestor's role in society is to inform. Like what a perfect design for
This is
a
so
podcast.
fun.
Yeah. But man, that
I
was
just
such a
got
funny night.
reinvigorated.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was such a funny night though. Like, do you remember?
Yes.
I mean, I remember so much of it. I remember laughing and laughing and laughing and laughing. How did we come up with Interested in Chaos? Like, I know we were talking about something, and then because the our title for this prior to Interested in Chaos was going to be All Over the Map, which I also enjoyed,
I
and it
do,
also
but it
just
also pales in
it
comparison.
pales. It's like it doesn't even compare. It feels juvenile to even
Juvenile
think
for
that we
sure.
wanted that to be.
Even our logos, when we looked at them again, we're like, we were gonna
Well,
say yes to that. Again,
yeah,
juvenile. Were they
yeah,
good? Sure, but
sure,
it was so yeah.
yeah. But like, and now the way that it took form, and it's funny because both of us were just high
And had half a bottle of wine.
and had half a bottle of wine. The, like it, I don't know, what am I trying to say? Things just have such a different level of energy when you're in that state.
Yes. And the choice of, and this maybe is going back into like the addiction piece, it's the choice of doing it with intention versus, I feel like for many people, and maybe I'm over generalizing, but a lot of people feel like they have to do it all the time, especially socially and recreationally,
Hmm.
where you can't just be in the experience of camping or anything without some sort of substance to like make it better or enhance the mood or make you more able to socialize. Like there's always this.
Yeah. I think that's the piece too. It's like the more able to socialize. There's such anxiety in people that it feels like I gotta loosen up, or I feel tense. This will make me less tense.
Yes, not
Or yeah,
being comfortable enough being authentic with yourself, because what they're doing is just releasing their inhibitions. Now they feel unresolved enough to express themselves completely and fully without feeling the shame and guilt comes tomorrow. If
yeah,
ever at
there and
all,
regret.
if the regret, but in the moment it's the best thing you could do.
Yeah.
The only answer.
There was a point of time in my life where, and I'm sure people can relate to this. Once I started, I could not stop because I didn't want to stop because, and I still feel that sensation. Like especially like, okay, let's use that night for example. We were having so much fun and it was so funny. Multiple times, I didn't tell this to you, but multiple times during the dinner, I was like, we need more gummies. We need more gummies. We need more. Right? Because part of me doesn't want that sensation to stop, right? But how long do you prolong it and for what reason?
Right.
Because
Yeah.
it
At what point
all changes.
is the
It's gonna stop.
high, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
Where's the peak? Is it
Yeah.
everlasting or is this moment right now enough?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that's all we really have is this moment. So this is the point, I guess. We train ourselves. We have to train ourselves to go, it's just this moment. I think when we're suffering from addiction, we're not thinking about this moment, we're thinking about the next moment, and we're trying to manage the next moment. And gets it, that's what gets us in trouble. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, obviously, depression, anxiety, past, future, it's all suffering, it's all misery. Um,
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's attachment in either direction. It's either to
right.
something of the past or chasing something of the future
Yeah.
is what
Or
takes us away
aversion.
from. Yeah.
So it's all attachment or aversion. Going back to the big
Yeah.
lesson.
They're just firing off in every corner
Just
of
every single move we make.
unless we're in the present.
Yeah, but even that, and this is where I'm still integrating all of this stuff. It's like, how deep do we want to take it? Like I'm sitting out here in the sun and I'm squinting and I don't like that. But I'm not going to walk up there now and get my sunglasses because I don't want to wear sunglasses on our podcast. And like it's everything. It's the most minute, pointless shit. Like who cares? But we still think about it. And so the fact that we think about it creates some sort of aversion or attachment or something. Yeah. Yeah. And so if anything I've learned from this, it's like that's why I'm going to force myself to sit in this meditation because it's through the meditation that builds the equanimous mind. And I also this morning after my meditation was like I just wasted an hour also because I wasn't equanimous throughout basically the entire thing. But I guess it's practice.
Right. Well, was it really a waste? Is the question. Do
Yeah.
you believe that?
I don't know. Part of me does. I don't have an answer to that. Because if I'm not, well, here's my little perfectionist brain. If I'm not doing it properly, then what are you doing? Just sitting wasting time. I just let myself sit in my own feeling of I want this to be over instead of working on bringing myself to an equanimous mind. Like I wasn't doing the work during the meditation, is what I'm saying. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. But like the work,
But I
sure.
did it. So I guess in that it's a
Right.
success.
Right. Like what equates to the work, and I mean, obviously, your perfectionism wants you to mark off all the checks in the
Hmm.
station box, but isn't even just the sitting, the presence of knowing that maybe it doesn't look so right. Like that's still
Yeah.
part of the practice.
Yeah. Part of the practice is remaining even when you don't want to. Yeah. God,
If
I
the
mean
moment
that we can, that's too broad of a statement though.
if
That's
the
too,
moment calls, I think that's not always the case,
right.
obviously.
Right. And it's going to be
Is everything in the
situational.
world always 100%?
No,
Is the
God, no.
question, right?
No. And also a statement like that is so broad. It needs to be situational, because apply that statement then to a relationship like that. No, that's not right. That's not okay. Not right, but it's okay. I'm gonna
Whitney,
make it. And yeah, I think so.
right?
Pack
Close
your
the door
bag
behind
up
you,
and
leave the
leave.
keys. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't you go there, come running back to... Which one is that? Is that what it's called? It's not
It's
right.
not right, but it's okay. Something
Is
like
that the
that.
full title?
I don't know, but now I
Damn,
need to know.
yeah, memory unlocked.
Oh yeah, song unlocked. Yeah, that's a good song. Anyhow, but do you know what I mean? Like you don't just stay to stay. You don't stay because you think it's the work or I mean that's something that I'm still learning, unlearning, relearning, experiencing. So much of this. So I don't know. Just so do I call it suffering? It feels the word suffering just feels so dramatic.
So big.
It's so big.
The suffering. It's like
God,
kind
the
of
suffering.
starving. Are you?
Are you? Yeah,
Or are you just hungry?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
might be even hangry, but let's not
Yeah,
confuse what that
let's
is.
not confuse starving. So what can we call it instead of suffering? Discontent? I don't know. Sometimes it's suffering.
But
Whatever.
how high was the level of discomfort?
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, my point is, as a quote unquote yogi, I would always tell myself, "You're so strong. You can do this. You chose this. This is a lesson. How is this for you?" Like all of the self help is not garbage, but
Mumbo
all of the self
jumbo.
mumbo jumbo. Thank you. That's a good one. All of the self help mumbo jumbo, but it's like we get then addicted to the self help instead of
Mumbo
actually
jumbo.
helping ourselves.
Absolutely. Well, it's the addiction to the process and not
Yeah.
the
It's
actual
like
practice.
an addiction to thinking about how amazing your life is going to be on the other side of this, but not actually doing anything to make your life amazing. Yeah, so it's like yeah, like you said, like an addiction to the process of it. Yeah. Anyhow, but like at some point you need to make a decision. You have to do something different to help yourself, not just say that this is making me stronger. I'm going to learn from this, that, that. Like notice what isn't working and just call a spade a spade.
Yeah. Well, to your point, to your example, it's not particularly a waste if you're one noticing these things and then coming back to this awareness of the motivation that sort of happens in the doing. You didn't get it in your mind, like thinking about, oh, this is going to suck, or oh, I'll just do it for the sake of doing it. It was when you started the practice that it amplified and multiplied for you. So there was your non-way.
Yeah. Yeah. It amplified and multiplied like misery. I'm going to share a story that Gwenka shared with us during the course, and I'm going to get it really fucking wrong. Just
It's great. It's
obviously.
about stories, how they evolve with the teller.
Yeah. I mean, I have the story verbatim because I got a book, but it's way up there. But basically, I'll give you the cliff notes.
Is this a fictional or is this a true
Well,
story about her?
no, it's like a metaphor.
Great. I love. Like
Love
a
metaphors.
fable, if you would.
Yeah.
Yay.
So it's basically about planting seeds, right? So there's the banyan tree in India. The seed is like the size of a sesame. It's just the tiniest little thing. And this tiny little seed holds the entire tree. Not only does that one tiny seed hold the entire tree, it holds millions of other trees within it as well. And like just that metaphor alone always just feels so inspiring. It's like, oh my God, there's lifetimes in this tiny little seed. And also, we need to sow the seed. We need to put the seed in proper soil. We need to feed the seed the proper amount of nutrients, minerals, water, sunlight. It requires a certain amount of and level of care in order for it to grow into the banyan tree. But once it's grown, it is now really self-sustainable and it's going to produce fruits over time. So a couple mixed metaphors there, right? Like you're picking up what I'm putting down. Obviously, like we need to water ourselves. We need to sow the ground on which we plant our seed and all of this stuff.
Nurture it with the proper
Nurture it
things,
with the
you
proper
know.
things. Yeah, and also if we're expecting to grow a palm tree from a banyan seed, then we are setting ourselves up for utter disappointment.
Correct.
And if we're expecting to bear fruit, if we plant a pine tree, we're going to starve. So what seed are you planting? Because whatever seed you plant is the thing that's going to multiply and multiply and multiply and multiply. So are you planting a seed of misery? Are you planting the seed of malcontent? Are you planting the seed of disappointment? Are you planting the seed of hatred? I don't know. But what seed are you planting? Because whatever you're planting is going to multiply.
Right. Yeah. And our thoughts are sometimes those, and
Our
you know,
thoughts,
again,
in fact, are the seeds,
going
not
back
sometimes.
to,
They're always the seeds.
they are the seed, right?
Yeah,
But even your, let's say, you know, the time that you spent this hour in meditation, essentially planting this seed of, at the
I want this to
very
be over.
the most heightened, right,
Yeah.
high level discomfort. But then that's it, right? It's not something that is the norm, or not something that you have to go back to, or that you, not that you won't ever, but it's not likely to go back to that again tomorrow or
Oh, of
next week.
course. And when it was over, I was like, good for you. Good for you. You did it. Like you didn't give up. That's the important thing. Like it always ends well. I'm not gonna,
Exactly.
you know, I'm not an idiot. I'm not
You're
an
not
idiot.
completely self-sabotaging.
I'm not an idiot that just walks around with negative thoughts all the time.
Damn it, am I?
Good. Yeah, yeah. And the rest of the world? Did you just call me an idiot? I
I
mean, I
mean,
may have.
if that doesn't work though, what really does? Honestly, I think a little self-deprivation or deprecation for me has been so motivating as well. Like you fucking idiot. What are you talking?
If I can diss myself first, then it's kind of okay to diss somebody else too.
Right. That's like the it's also the up leveling your like your status because if you can get to saying what somebody else is going to say before you, you've taken their hand. So
Yes.
what
Yeah,
is
I
that
know. I know what you're thinking. I
exactly?
know what you're thinking about me, and I'm going to say it out loud. Yeah. As long as it's not you rejecting yourself. It's one thing to call out a, I don't know, moment in time or when you catch yourself in an act like that. That's one thing. But the whole rejection before someone else can reject you part that stops you from making right action, that part, I don't think that is what we're referring to here. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't reject yourself.
Don't reject or reject yourself if there's a lesson in there for you.
Or reject yourself intentionally and then go, yeah, focus on why that was and do your shadow work so you don't do it again.
Mhm. So you know why you
Yeah.
did it in the first place.
Right, right, right. That was the other part. So speaking of murder mysteries, and then I'm probably gonna go. I can see she's up. I didn't bring any books to read. Like that's not true. I have my I've got my self-help book. I've got two books on shadow work. So I have multiple things to read
You
also, but it's
mean
like
non self
really,
help?
yeah, like really you couldn't just like bring a murder mystery. You can bring like a fairy fantasy novel to read or something. Like nope,
Little
just
Sarah J. Moss.
two light readings on shadow work. Come on.
But I actually the only reason I read that book, my sister got it from the library. So if I see a book, I'm gonna read it. It doesn't matter. If you've got a book on your counter, I'm gonna open it up and I'm gonna
Hmm.
start reading. That's just
Yeah.
naturally what I do. And so I just opened the book and then I was like, here I am. And I ended up finishing the thing. But
Finished it.
I just recently, I would say, started reading for the joy again, just like the
Pleasure.
novelty
Yeah.
of it, the pleasure. I have been reading development, personal development, self help, all those things for so long. And as much as I still love it, because I love
Yeah,
to learn,
it's still
I
very
just want my
pleasurable.
brain to be, I've always used, and I just actually came to this realization as an adult, but I used reading when I was a child as an escape from my life. And so maybe part of me wants that escape back where it's like, okay, for these 30 minutes that I'm reading, I'm not right here. I'm
Right.
in some other land and it's cool.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. You can start yourself into the fantasy of experiencing a different character or a different archetype or whatever. I think it's so magical. Yeah, I did that with The Hobbit when I was younger. Like I loved that book. Loved it. I also love the entire Lord of the Rings series, but The Hobbit in particular, because that's what I started with, was just, I don't know, I can't. It's too good.
I love absolutely.
Too good. Yeah. I have Elvin tattooed on my body too, by the way, from like Lord of the Rings. Yeah, well, I'm wearing a jumper. You can't tell, but it's on my stomach. Just add it to the list of weird things.
That's such a reflector of you too. That's such an, and now that I'm thinking about it,
Why? What do you mean?
just like the tattoos of like, it's just things that I'm, you know, random hodgepodge, of like, ooh,